Okay, so z-scores, we did that in chapter 2. This is the formula for finding the z-score. X minus mu divided by the standard deviation, x minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. We're going to be calculating z-scores today. Not at first. We'll do that. I think it comes over in section 2. The first thing we're going to do is remind yourselves that this is what we call a normal distribution curve. It has a total area of 1. The mean is 0. The standard deviation is 1. And all of your data should fit within 3 standard deviations of the mean on either side. 3 standard deviations on the left and 3 standard deviations to the right. Almost all of the data. So I also need you to be sure and understand that every time they ask us to find the area, they could just as easily ask me to find the probability of that z-score. So just remember, area and probability, same question, can be interchanged. So here's the first question. It wants you to find the cumulative area that corresponds to a z-score of 1.15. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, and by the way, I've given you a bunch of these normal curves, but you do need to practice drawing these on your own, because this is going to be required on the test. When you take the test, I require you to draw the picture to demonstrate what you're looking for, and so you do want to practice it. It doesn't have to be perfect. My curves usually look like a hot mess, but I usually start at the middle and go down, and then I come over here, go down. So just something along those lines. See, it's definitely not perfect. It doesn't look exactly like that, but I can, demonstrate what 3 standard deviations away is. And so you need to be sure you can do that too. By the way, I'm going to do in this first video, I'm only going to show you how to use the z-table. And then in the second video, I'll show you how to go back and use the calculator. The calculator is perfectly fine, but if I don't show you how to do it by hand and to use the z-table, then you don't fully understand what you're doing. The calculator robs you of your understanding. So what am I talking about, this z-table? Let me clear this off because I used it already. But what I'm talking about is this. This is a what we call a z-table. It has a whole bunch of z-scores on it, and there's 2 pages of it. There's a page where we're doing z-scores that are negative, and then there's a page where we do z-scores that are positive. I'll show you how to read this. Where does this come from? It comes from the back of your book. If you log in to your e-textbook and go to your table of contents, you will find where it says reference tables or something like that. I will provide you with the z-table every time you take a test from here on out, because you'll use this for the rest of the time. But I'm going to show you how to use it. So the first video is going to be me working these problems using the z-table, and then I'll put a video on there where I'm using the calculator. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to locate this z-score on this number line. So it's pretty obvious. 1.15 is going to be somewhere between 1 and 2. And 1.15, that's like $1.15. That's going to be closer to the 1 than it is to the 2. So I'm just going to try to draw as straight a line as possible. And this one says, find the cumulative area. So area accumulates the same way we read from left to right. So we're talking about this area. This is what they want us to find, this area right here. How much area are we talking about if my z-score is 1.15? Okay, so to use the table, all you do is go to the table and you go and you find the z-score of 1.15. So I'm going to go to the table. These are the negative z-scores, and I can tell because these are all negatives. So I'm going to go to the positives, 1.1, and I'm looking for 1.1. So I'm using this entire row right here. This whole row is a 1.1. Okay, and then this is 1.10, 1.11. This is 1.12, 1.13, 1.14, 1.15. This is the column right here that I'm in. So this number right here is the area that will be under. If my z-score was 1.15, then all of this area right here is going to be 0.8749. Remember, everything is 1. So the part that's just from here back is 0.8749. So that's the answer to my question, 0.8749. So the answer right here is 0.8749. I don't know how we turned to black, but that's okay. And so this is another way of saying the same thing. Here they said find the area to the left. Here they're saying the probability that z is less than or equal to 1.15 is going to be 0.8749. I have no idea why that's black. Is it supposed to be this color? Now it is 0.8749. Okay, so same thing with this one. Find the cumulative area that corresponds to the z-score of negative 0.24. Negative, that's negative 0.5 right there. So negative 0.24, somewhere right about there. This area, this thing right there, that's supposed to represent a z-score of negative 0.24. Okay, so we're looking for the area to the left because it says the cumulative area, that's automatically means to the left, of z equals negative 0.24. So what do we do? The same thing. We go look at the z table, and we want the negative z tables, negative 0.2. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that I can see all of it at the same time. Negative 0.2, and look at the top, that's 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, there's 0.4. So negative 0.2, it's this entire row right here, and this is 0.4 right here. So this is the one that we want. So the answer is 0.4052. 0.40.52 is 0.0. Oh Lord, I can't write. 0.0. What was it? 0.4052. 0.4052. Almost a half, right? Another way to say that, the probability that the z value is less than negative 0.24 is 0.4052. Okay, almost a half. I have no idea how long this is going. So I'm going to go ahead. Here's what you should do. You should try to do this one right here because it is exactly the same thing. And I will work this one before I start my next video. And then my next video will also include how to do this on the calculator. So I'll start off by showing you this answer, and then I'll show you how to use the calculator. All right. I'll see you back in the next video.